Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Farmer George. On today's episode, it's all about crossbreeding pepper plants. Why would anyone want to crossbreed a pepper? Well, maybe you're on the quest for creating the hottest pepper in the world and dethroning the Carolina Reaper. Maybe you really like bell peppers, but they're too big for your living space and you want to create a smaller variety of bell peppers. The possibilities are endless. I myself am on the quest to create the world's hottest jalapeno pepper. So on today's episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first the tools you'll need to crossbreed pepper plants successfully, and then we're going to go step by step in depth to show you the steps you need to cross pepper plants efficiently and effectively. Make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to give you some extra tips and pointers that I forgot to mention throughout this video. And please, if you like what you see, subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you're going to grow and tell me what you're planning on doing when you cross your peppers. All right, let's go cross some peppers. Okay, so here are the tools to crossbreed your pepper plants, and I'll go into detail on each of these tools throughout the video. First thing you'll need is a pair of forceps or tweezers. Then you'll need a shot glass, preferably a darker one. Then you'll need a paintbrush, a zip tie, or a label, or you can use both. I like to use both, and that's for marking the viable flowers. You'll need a pen to mark your label. You'll need a pair of scissors, and then you'll need a toothbrush to agitate the flowers to release the pollen into your shot glass. You can also tap the backs of the flowers, but I find that you get so much more pollen when they're agitated with a slight vibration like from an electric toothbrush. And the appropriate way to label your plant is to put the seed plant, and that's the plant you're adding the pollen to, times the pollen plant, and that's the name of the plant that you're taking the pollen from. You want to put the date underneath that so you have the date of the cross, and on the flip side of this label you want to put an identifying marker, so that way you have an identifying marker to identify each individual pepper. So next we're going to walk through the steps in depth about how to crossbreed your pepper plants. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do before even considering starting to cross is to see if your seed plant has any flowers like this. When the flower starts to open, you risk the flower starting to produce pollen and therefore risking self-pollination. And you don't want that when you're crossing because the whole point is to bring pollen from another flower to pollinate this one. So I have one viable flower right here, it looks like. And then I got a few more on this plant. Some of them have started to open, and I'm going to experiment with that. So let's see if I can get it on camera. This flower just started to open, and I'm wondering if the anthers started to produce pollen. And anthers are just where pollen is produced on the flower. There's a couple viable options here. So I know I have one good one at least, and a few others that have opened flowers. So the next step before doing anything else, you want to go to your pollen plant and see if you can collect any pollen. So I'll show you how to do that next. So I got a ton of flowers on my pollen plant, fortunately, and I'm going to take my electric toothbrush and I'm going to put the back of my toothbrush against the back of the flower. That's going to release the pollen into my shot glass here. Hopefully we'll be able to see it on the camera and see the pollen release, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Here we go. That one had some pollen drop off. So I'm going to continue this process. I hope I caught that on the screen. If not, I'll show you the pollen in the shot glass after I collect all the pollen. The second most important step of the crossing process is underway, and we're on our way to crossing our pepper. So just take a look at all this pollen that I collected from the jalapeno. And the easiest way I found in collecting pollen is to just brush the pollen into a little bit of a pile within the shot glass, which I haven't done yet. We'll drag the tip of the pistil or the stigma into the pile of the pollen, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, we have to remove the petals and the anthers from the seed plant, and I've marked the flowers that I want to pollinate, so we'll do that next. This is one of the most delicate parts of this process, and I'm going to take away the petals from this plant, and then underneath the petals are the anthers. So hopefully my big fat hands don't get in the way, but I'm going to try to do this with the camera rolling as best as possible. So sometimes you have to go at the base of the petals, especially if the flower is a little young and the petals are a little green still. They're not going to want to come off. So very delicately take off the petals and the anthers. So I will show you the anthers after I get a couple petals off. And you have to be careful not to remove the pistil, which is what we're going to pollinate. So the female part of the flower. We're going to pollinate the tip of the pistil, and that's called the stigma. If you remove the pistil by accident, that's why you've identified other flowers, I'm sure, and you can start again because you won't be able to do this process. You see those dark bluish green things inside the flower here? These are called the anthers, and that's where the pollen is produced or released from. And here it is. So you want to get rid of these little guys as well. And I'm going to finish this process, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what you're supposed to be left with, and that's just the pistil. So here it is. You have the pistil, and the tip of the pistil is what we're going to be pollinating. And again, that's called the stigma. If you notice, I cleaned off a lot of the leaves and extra stems around this flower. And I like to do that because I want to isolate these flowers as much as possible. And it just makes it a lot easier so that you're not fumbling with leaves and branches when you're trying to do this process. So that was a quick tip that I've learned from doing this process a few times. So I've since brushed the pollen in the shot glass into a little pile. And let's see, it is right there. And we're going to take the tip of the flower and we're going to just drag it through that pile of pollen. So let's see if we can get that. There we go. You can see it on the camera, which is great. You can see some pollen dust on that flower. So that's how you cross-pollinate a flower. So we'll come back in a couple days and see if this has set fruit. Okay, everybody, so it's been 2 months and 10 days since we did this initial cross. We did the cross on February 22nd, and you can see that I have my tag right there. And the pepper has just started to ripen up. You got some shades of red here, and then on the other side it's a little more red, but then you got coming from the stinger, or where the pistil used to be, it's getting pretty red. And then we have another one that was successful. And then we have another little guy back here that was successful. I had attempted originally 5 crosses, and 3 of them worked. So the 3 that you see here that are turning red are the successful crosses. The other 2 took initially, but then they fell off. So that's why it's important to always identify more than 1 flower, preferably, 5 to 7 flowers even, because they will fall off. It's important to note when crossing plants that sometimes the seed and pollen plants do not match up. They're not viable. They won't produce viable offspring. So I'll put a chart to show you which species of peppers will work with other species of peppers to alleviate any frustrations if you experience flower drops and unsuccessful crosses throughout your journey of crossing peppers. So we're very lucky to have 3 peppers that set fruit, and this, just another tip here, this is called the F0 generation. So the seed plant here is a jalapeno plant, and this pepper here resembles mostly a jalapeno, and that's because on this F0 generation of pods, you're not going to see traits from both parents typically. The magic really begins in the F1 and then in subsequent generations after you continue to strengthen your strain. So I'm going to let this one ripen up a little bit so that I can ensure the seeds are viable and fully mature, and then I'm going to grow out the seeds and see what I got. And another quick tip, when you're crossing plants, it's best to do it indoors because you limit factors such as heat, wind, pollinating insects from cross-pollinating, and you don't even have to cover up these flowers to prevent any of those external elements from messing with your cross. So that's about it, guys. Please like this video. Please subscribe if you found this information useful. And as always, I'm Farmer George. Let's share and grow together.